Alola, everybody. Welcome to the... How many playthrough am I on? 56th. 56th finale of the Foreverlocke. We're in Alola in Pokemon Moon, ready to become the first ever champions of Alola once again. An interesting team. There were only 3 URs that I could choose from at the start, outside of choosing Decidueye as my starter, which I did not do. So it was going to be Alolan Persian, Furfrou, and Wishy-Washy. I was really happy when I got to Malia City on the 3rd island that I was able to choose the trim for Furfrou, change it every stream. And I'm ending it off with Kabuki, which is my favorite. We got Torracat, we got Cottonee, we got a little Lillipup, which took until halfway Island 2 before we could add that one to the team. I think it was level 25, something like that. As you might be able to tell, I was ill recently. Most of that's recovered. My throat still hurts. I have to cough a lot, so I'm going to be muted for a good portion of today. I still want to commentate. I still want to be excited to talk about strategy, but not talk as much through it as I would do in an average finale. So just so you're aware. Here is our squad. We got our level 62 Torracat and Wishy-Washy because those are the ones that have to survive specific hits that I'm not as confident about that they can. Vic is going to do mostly 2 fights on its own, but I feel a lot more confident on that. So Vic is going to be probably okay with that. Bonkers, I used quite a bit. I don't think I'll be using Bonkers a lot. I'm going to start it with an Assault Vest, but after the first fight, change that to Leftovers, so that it's Bonkers can use Cotton Guard, which can be really nice against some specific Pokemon, some specific fights. Peppers hasn't changed his moveset the entire time. And then Cloudy the Cottonee, I have both the TM for Dazzling Gleam and for Energy Ball, depending on who I'm fighting. I might swap those around. I think Protect is nice, Cotton Guard, and Leech Seed, I can help stall with that a bit. Depending on who I'm fighting, I might change that around. But especially against, let's say, Olivia with Rock types, I'm going to change the Energy Ball. But for Hala, I want to use Dazzling Gleam. I actually intend to use Cloudy for most of the Hala fight. Everything except for Crabominable. Because outside of a Fake Out... Yeah, outside of Fake Out on the lead Hariyama, and Ice Hammer on the Ace Crabominable, they have only resisted moves against Cottonee. So I think it's decent stats, plus Eviolite. We'll be able to do pretty well at least. I do want to check, because I have quite a few PP maxes, PP ups, where we are at with those numbers. Dazzling Gleam I did give a PP max to, knowing I'll be using it quite a bit against Hala. Focus Sash is on Puppers. Hopefully you won't get to use it. I won't need to use it. I have a few more Focus Sashes. Strongly considering giving one to Lasagna for the champion fight, because I'll probably be using Lasagna against the Magnezone, and the Magnezone is sturdy. We got lefties on Wishy-Washy. Assault Vest for now on Bonkers. I don't know why it's such a faded color, isn't popping whatsoever color on the Kabuki. This can look so much better if it's actually like a bright pop of red. And then Persian is here. Persian had, I think, Icy Wind and a Hidden Power Poison initially, but now Power Gem has been helping really nicely throughout the playthrough with coverage, and Nasty Plot. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be starting with Vic. My partner isn't Incineroar, so then it doesn't show. Maybe they don't have a model for Torracat. Maybe they just have a model for the big one and for the small one, not for the middle one. Because usually, I think your partner shows it's on your side. Well, they have a model for in battles. Maybe not programmed that they don't want to put it in here. They just assume it's fully evolved and only make it appear if it is the fully evolved one, and otherwise it's safe on that. Good luck in the final run-up. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I should be good on healing items. I bought a bunch. I did all the prep yesterday. Potion, super potion, high potion, max potion, 100 full restores. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Four trainers. Every Pokemon League in every region all over the world features 4 fantastic trainers called the Elite Four. Here in Alola 2, we've got 4 trainers all lined up for our Pokemon League. You'll win your way past every last one of them. You can't leave until you do. Or until you give up. I think it's... yeah, sure, there's nerves, but it's excited nerves. Healthy nerves. I'm excited to get things going. We are gonna start right here. We have a normal type on the team, so I could do the funny thing against Drifblim. But considering how good a certain Pokemon of my team is against Ghost types and a lot of their moves, I think I'll be okay. Namna said maybe he can't refuse the Tapu, choosing him to serve as Kahuna. But he'd be darned if he had to serve as one of the Elite Four just because some guy asked him. So I guess we'll just have to battle hard enough to make up for his not being here. Let's go, Acerola. I feel most confident about this fight. I feel pretty confident about the Kahili and the flying types, though. After that, it starts becoming at least a little more scary. There's some individual Pokemon that I'm a bit worried about. The only other things they can damage me with are either Resisted Shadow Claw or Confuse Ray, which will confuse me. But I'm faster. I like that I have the speed, and I can just safely set up with Nasty Plot. I can use that extra power later. This will did a bit more damage than I expected, but okay, I was afraid. I'm just gonna heal that confusion. I'm faster, so I don't need to risk it. I can just heal it. They shouldn't use Confuse Ray this turn, at least. And I can just Nasty Plot again next turn for the final boost. Also, as a reminder for people watching this live on Twitch, I'm not looking at chat during fights, because I've made mistakes before because I've looked at fights, missed a confusion side effect, forgot about a stat boost. I just think about my own strategy, look at the opponent's moveset, stuff like that during fights, and then I look at chat again right after. get to as high a speed as we can, just to be safe, but also mostly to get rid of the confusion, so we don't have to worry about that. The Sableye being first is nice. That's just rude. For safety, I think I can just heal again. Super Potion. If they hit me with another Shadow Claw, they're gonna deal less damage. If they hit me with Confuse Ray, I heal with a full heal. That's one. So let's see which order they're gonna do this in. All of them have a weakness to Dark. Every other Pokemon, and that none of them have a super effective move against Dark. So they're just going to go with strongest move order. Also, I haven't used many Z moves this playthrough at all. I remember using the Electric Z move against the second Guzma fight. Against the Golisopod right on turn 1, and then maybe one other just before that. Just because I wanted to see the animation. Outside of that, I haven't used it. It's been leftovers, Assault Vest, Eviolites, and occasionally the Focus Ash for items. Yeah, that's not nice. They are faster, which is unfortunate. I'll full restore to get a bit of the health. Get rid of the confusion. They might just throw confusion onto me again, but I'm going to be faster than every other Pokemon, so I prefer not having confusion going into the rest. So we'll see what. Oh, sheesh. Okay, Blizzard crit just kills, and they are faster than I am. I did not foresee this in my plan. So, let's say they don't freeze me, and I just heal. Now, I don't heal, they just Blizzard again, and they just kill. 2 regular Blizzards kill too. Okay, ooh, this is gonna make a lot of the other fights more difficult too if I lose Vic. What's a PP on Blizzard? I think it's 5. Yeah, so they use 2. I want... I think if they Confuse Ray instead of Blizzard, which I expect they'll use Blizzard just because they can KO me now. I want them to either miss Blizzard, then I'll try to attack. If they Confuse Ray, I will try to attack as well, because at least standard hit, they won't do it. At least, it's just over 100 damage with, but that's with Leftovers healing back. Leftovers heals 116, so that heals 10. They put me down to 55. So that's 112 damage. Take half of that is 56. A crit is around a KO. A crit from full might just KO, maybe just not, depending on where the high roll or the low roll is. Was there 70% chance to hit? If they miss, that'd be great. There's number 3, they miss, good. Okay. Confused right now? No, they go for Blizzard and just don't crit, otherwise we might be in trouble. Okay, we're good. That one's dealt with. Okay, that got a bit scary. Sometimes you need to just have some luck, and we got through it with that. Also, maybe I set my microphone this way, you can actually hear me better. Alright, Delmies. Less afraid of that. Also should be slower. Let's heal first. I can lower special defense. That was about 70 damage, so that's about 105. Now, so that special defense drop is bad. I get Lefty's heals. But there is still a Palisand coming with Earth Power. However, I should be faster now. I'm gonna check just to be safe now, because I got Frostlass wrong. 115 base speed on Persian. Frostlass has 110 base speed, and I'm higher level. That Frostlass has some speed EVs or speed nature, or I have a speed lowering one. Hala Sand. Base speed of 35. Drift Blim, who can't damage me much at all with its moveset. Speed 80. Okay, so we should be fine with all the boosts. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to switch, because I have all the boosts set up now. Palisand dealt with. That's probably the one that could still KO me from here with stab Earth Power. Driftling's usually last. I don't think it's meant to be last, because it's meant to pass on Amnesia, Focus Energy, potentially an Omni Boost from Ominous Wind, and pass it on with Baton Pass. But it's usually last. So if you have a normal type out here, they cannot damage you. So I have fought this Drifblim with a Yungoos before and won. Because I know they can't damage me. But here, I'll just do it with this. Alright. Got past Acerola. That got a bit really spooky. Any crit from that Frostlass could have killed. Because that was around the edge. I'm going to check the nature of my Persian. It is neutral. So that's either a speed increasing nature on that Frostlass, or there's a bunch of EVs on it, or a combination of those. IVs might come into play too. But usually having a level advantage plus having at least some EVs just throughout the adventure. Getting that. That's interesting. Okay. Let's change some things. Bonkers. You're gonna swap to leftovers. So that you are now capable of using Cotton Guard. Because normally with the Assault Vest, you're not able to use status moves. So I changed that on the tracker as well. Lefties. I made some notes on the order in which I want to fight the trainers. I thought that Acerola would be fine. I felt I was confident in that, but that probably was under the assumption that Persian would outspeed Frostlass. See what's Chapman saying. Nice to see Wishy-Washy in your lineup. Interesting Pokemon. Yeah, I've used it once before, and I think the first Ultra playthrough I did. But Ultra Necrozma killed it, so I got to catch a new one, and it's on the team now. Z-moves are ridiculously strong, and it makes sense to avoid them to have a clean run. Yeah, sometimes it's just safer to use other moves, like get the healing for every turn, get the extra defenses for safety. Alright, up next. We're going Kahili next, and I'm pretty sure for Kahili I also want to use Persian. That means I'm going to check speeds again. Oricorio, what is that base speed? 93. Crobat's the only one that might outspeed. 130, yeah, Crobat's going to outspeed. But the only thing that can really hurt me, I think, is Supersonic, and then I hit myself. Although they could air slash flinch me, but as long as that doesn't do too much damage, I can just heal that. I like that they took some characters that you knew and put them in the E4 and then added one to say, hey, this is a trainer that beat the trials before and then brought them back for the league. In Kahili. And she does have that link with the... Is it called the Tide Song Hotel? No, the Grand whatever hotel. That you meet Fabe just before you go to Ether. Alright, let's go. This is the next one. Persian, show us what you got. Your power's been underwhelming for a good portion of the game. Out of a base that it's 74, 75 base special attack. But in longer battles where you can set up, especially on an early Pokemon like Sableye or in this case Skarmory, Nasty Plot has really helped. And Persian does have a 115 base speed, so the combination's been really nice. Set up Nasty Plots again. This Skarmory has Sturdy, so we can play around with that. Spikes. I see no problem with them using spikes. I don't intend to switch. 2 Cannon's the scariest Pokemon on the team just because of the damage they can do with Beak Blast. Or the Supersonic Sky Strike, their Z move. However, I should just outspeed and KO. If I don't, I'm in trouble. But Persian is mostly intended to be used against Kahili and against Acerola. After Kahili, I'm not sure if I'm planning to use Persian at all. Maybe one Pokemon against Kukui. Okay, we should be okay just a Thunderbolt here and not need to heal him. It gets him into Sturdy, maybe Paralysis. And they should go into healing now. I will heal as well. I expect us both to heal. And from there, I'll Thunderbolt. Maybe they keep healing a few times, but they only get one more hit on me. And then if they heal after that, then that just gives me an extra turn of leftovers to heal, which is going to be especially useful against Crobat. I Thunderbolt not just because it's super effective. The other two should take it to 1 HP as well. But this could paralyze, and then fully paralyze, and then just not let them hit me. Alright, 3rd layer of spikes. That's going to do big damage if I switch. If. But it does allow me to go into the next Pokemon on full health. Magnabuzz first. Maybe because of punishment? It does get a massive boost because I've Nasty Plotted 3 times. But I'm way faster. They're pretty defensive, but with ×4 special attack? That's an extra level, that's extra survivability, extra power, extra speed. We take those. There's the main one that could do the big damage. This thing could definitely one-shot me. If it went first. Thunderbolt. Get out of here. And already curious, so they're doing Crobat last, the only one that could outspeed me. Should have power gemmed here for even more damage, but it should KO as well. Let's go. Now for Fast Bat. There is the Supersonic they hit. Why they don't have Confuse Ray, I don't understand. That is just way more consistent. Because I'm not increasing my own physical attack, Confusion is a lot less risky. Crobat's down. Kahili defeated. Let's go. Persians definitely showing their usefulness and their power in these fights. No, Poppers, you can't evolve. You're just a baby. Just a baby. I was on full health. Good there. Who's next? I think Hala. Mm-hmm. Hala time, which means it's cloudy time. That's gonna be some strategy. Okay, I'm gonna check some stats. Hariyama, base 120 physical attack, yeah. Cottony on HP and defense. 40 HP, 60 defense. Does have Eviolite. This is a bit of a risky play. Fighting types have in general been pretty scary because 2 of my URs in Bonkers and Vic are weak to fighting, and my 3rd UR doesn't resist it. Cloudy's the only thing on the team that resists fighting, and Puppers is even weak to it. Let's see how I'm gonna play this one. I'll probably protect turn 1 just to not get the fake out damage. And then Cotton Guard first is probably smartest. Then Leech Seed, and then go from there. Make sure I have maximum Cotton Guards before I go into any other Pokemon. You finished your stroll to the Kahuna, Hala. Alright, let's show us what you can really do. I don't remember what Pokemon I used in the video originally, but this one probably played its part. I like when I can use 1X's against big fights. Cotton Ball, Cloudy, I choose you! Whee! Cloudy! Protect from the fake out, because I have Eviolites. I have to remember I don't have leftovers. I have to do that healing either manually or via Leech Seed. Cotton Guard, I go first. I don't have Prankster on this. This is Infiltrator. But I still go first. That is nice. Close combat. Is that a crit? That had to have been a crit. Okay, because with resistance plus more, that was going to be different. Okay, so that's around 90 damage on a crit. That is easily their strongest move. I just realized something. There is an extra risky thing in this fight. Knockoff. If they use Knockoff, that removes my Eviolite. Which means their moves now do more damage. Their close combat will now deal 90 plus half of that added 135-ish damage. So from full, that is an on the edge KO. I get Cloudy, I think, 2 rare candies because it was the lowest level. Maybe I should have given it more. I mostly gave them to Wishy-Washy and to Torracat for very specific points later on in the E4. Okay. I didn't need to KO this Hariyama because I'm afraid of it. They've already used Ghost Combat before. It doesn't do enough damage whatsoever. Don't crit, good. I think I need to go for the KO. Are they going to bring in Crabominable after? Yeah, because otherwise they can KO me. I was originally thinking use Leech Seed. How? It lowered its defenses again. Okay, now it's gonna heal. Right? So do I Leech Seed? And just set up more? Thing is, sometimes sending their Z-move user early. So they're gonna send out Crabominable next. There's not much point in setting up again if Crabominable's the second Pokemon, because that's the only one that I'm not using Cloudy against. I do wanna come out of this with as much HP as possible so I can use it against the other Pokemon. I haven't thought too much about other options against Hala's Pokemon. But I have other options. Just don't crit. Good. Leech Seed enough here? I think it might. Yeah, okay. And Hariyama has a lot of HP, so this is a lot of health increase. Okay, this isn't really going how I thought about it, and I don't think I took into account when planning this battle that Eviolite could be knocked off. And that's gone for the rest of the battle. I do get that level up. Every level up is nice, because that's extra survivability. There's Crabominable. Here's the plan for Krabby. We send in Grandma. We don't have fighting resistance outside of Cottony, and Cottony is not surviving Ice Hammer. Bring in the fishies. We protect turn 1 because I'm predicting a Z move. And that is why Wishy-Washy knows protect. I wasn't gonna use U-turn. I don't think I used it maybe once the entire playthrough, but it's this exact move why I taught it protect before the move. Now, Crabominable. Base speed 43. Wishy-Washy. Base speed 30. The big Wishy-Washy. Do I heal now, but then they will close combat. And they will just put me on lower health than I was before, so I just have to hope that I survive this. And then go from there. I am faster. Good, good, good. Or at least speed tie. That could technically still be a thing. Deals good damage. Here's close combat. That on a crit could still be massive. Ooh. Please don't. Okay, I think I just need to KO them. Because they can crit and kill me. Wait, no, they get rid of my... Uh-oh. I did not think of this. How does schooling work now? If I heal, does it immediately reapply? Because that's below 25%. At the end of the turn, it can go back. Oh no. I do have higher speed. As little Wishy-Washy, so it go first. But I also have a special attack that goes from 140 down to 25. I can protect just for a free healing. But that's not going to give me enough HP to get to 25%. Do I risk it an attack? I don't think I can. They are going to close combat. What was Cottony's speed? 66. I could switch into Cottony, tank the close combat, and then Dazzling Gleam for the win. No other Pokemon takes this hit. Okay, Cloudy. Yeah. Please don't Ice Hammer. Because you can also KO with it. I could see them doing it. It's happened before, but close combat's accurate. And they did it before, so we... No! Okay, we are in trouble. We have a death. this playthrough, and this is why I wanted Cottony at full health. I had a great plan for this battle, but for some reason I didn't think about the fact that they were going to send a Crabominable second. Also, I didn't take into account that schooling would undo Grandma's powers. And I didn't take into account that my Eevee life could have been knocked off. Hi, Janita. Welcome to the show where Pokemon dies. You know what the sucky thing is about this Pokemon dying? We were deathless so far, and it's cool to just have a deathless playthrough. Gen 1 through 6, the 6 playthroughs before this one, were all had at least one death. My record of amount of death runs in a row, so runs with at least one death in it, was 6. Now we tied it with 6, and I really didn't want it to be 7. 7 runs in a row with at least one death. I took a risk with having Cloudy out against a fighting type because it's just Cloudy. Yeah. Should I have gone with Surf with Grandma? Considering how much weaker, I'm like almost at least 4 times weaker, they were still orange. I don't think I would have KO'd with Surf. Speed on a Furfrou. Enough. Because I believe schooling checks the HP at the end of the turn, or when you send it out, I need to find a way to heal Wishy-Washy. Because Wishy-Washy is my other safest Pokemon in this fight. They used close combat before, so I can at least KO this one. Alright, let's update the trackers for Cloudy. Not custom image death notes. Cause of death. Eviolite was knocked off. Had to switch it into Hala's Crabominable's close combat to save Grandmother Wishy-Washy. Yeah, put that one in the Discord. It's not how I wanted to do this. We still get 5 Hall of Famers, but yeah, that was, I suppose, the risk. In the last playthrough, Gen 6, I had a Lucario and a Typhlosion on the team, both weak to ground. So I specifically chose Swellow as my 3rd Pokemon, as my 3rd UR, to have an immunity to ground. I didn't have that luxury in this team. I just had Furfrou, Persian, Wishy-Washy from the start. This was my team from the start. And I knew it might have specific challenges. Made it through Hala one time, didn't make it here. So that's a Cottony out of the slot tracker. I guess we get to catch it in another playthrough now. Cottony out here. And it disappears here as well. No. Alright, we still have a lot of the fight to go. We now go into Primeape. We still have 3 things with stab fighting moves. Without any fighting resistances anywhere on the team. Just so you're aware. We could set up Cotton Guard with our dear Furfrou, but like Primeape has Crash Chop, which is a higher crit chance. This is great. Also, if we could heal Wishy-Washy at any point, that'd be great. But we still need to heal it. Wait, I can't safely heal it. This fight just became a lot scarier. Furfrou has 7 more base speed compared to Primeape. I still have Eviolite on Lasagna. I don't have Focus Sash. I feel like optimally I keep Bonkers. I Cotton Guard to boost defense. Like optimally they would just miss Cross Chop. But they just need to not crit Cross Chop. I do still have Fur Coat for extra defense. Do we just hope that that's enough? I think so, because Lasagna is not going to be enough. I'm on 90. Lasagna is 92 times 1.5 with Eviolite. Bonkers goes times 2 due to Fur Coat. I'm going to reread some of these abilities just in case I might get it wrong. Doubles, just straight up doubles the defense stat. Yeah. I think Cotton Guard, hope they either miss or just don't crit Cross Chop. But I am weak to it, so Lasagna actually takes less damage. Because the double defense from Bonkers is effectively nullified by them being super effective. So Lasagna takes less damage. But that's if we don't take Cotton Guard into account. And let's say Torracat does beat Primeape, there's still a Beware and a Poliwrath. Having Bonkers is, I think, optimal. I think I have to risk at least one Cotton Guard. And then they need to not crit. In general, they need to not crit, and Cross Jump has that higher crit chance. This is the third one for me. We did Acerola first, which turned out to be a little scary. The intent was Kahili and Acerola would both be fully done by Persian. Frostlass outsped Persian for some reason. And on a crit Blizzard, that could have just been a KO. That didn't happen, luckily. We had an easy time against Kahili, and now this one was third. I tried Cottony for a bit, and then had to switch to Wishy-Washy for Crabominable, but Cottony's Eviolite got knocked off earlier by the Hariyama. Crabominable was the only one that could actually decently hit Cottony. I wasn't at full health. I forgot that Schooling deactivated. Because you just don't have that a lot with Wishy-Washy. I just forgot about it. Yeah. Yeah, crit kills. Hey, crit kills. Psychium Z might have been nice here, but having the leftovers could actually save me at some point too. What is the PP on Cross Chop? I think it was a 5. I don't want to risk the Cross Chop. 80% to hit, but if it hits, it has a higher chance to critical. Critical kills here. I have boosted defense now, so if it doesn't crit 2 turns in a row, I can KO it. Punishment because I have boosts. Have to be EVs on some of these trainers, because I have a level advantage of 5 levels in Primeape, 7 higher base speed, they are faster. I know I didn't EV train my Pokemon in specific stats, but I would have gotten at least some speed EVs throughout the playthrough. Same with Persian. Persian had an advantage on Frostlass of I think 4 levels, and had base speed that was 5 higher, yeah, got outsped. So there are EVs, I would assume, and perhaps max IVs, I'm not sure, on these E4 Pokemon. That is something I have been wanting to look into just for any E4, any game. I know it's been confirmed, at least in BDSP, there's really good movesets and items plus max EVs for a lot of E4s and stuff like that. That makes the boss fights harder there. And specifically, the Obstagoon in the Pierce fight in Sword and Shield has, I think, HP and defense EVs or something like that. To, I suppose, work for the fact that he doesn't have Dynamax. But these must have some boosts. Okay, so let's survive one more. Preferably you just miss. Okay, Full Resource fine. That just wastes healing items because I'll just hit you into that and again. And it allows my leftovers to go again. I'm not gonna survive a crit cross jump anyway, but it's every bit of HP might matter later on in the fight. This cross jump hits. Don't crit me! No! So, an idea I had was, at some point against one of the other Pokemon with lower chance of crits, I might heal Grandma, because Grandma's the safest Pokemon to use. Grandma, I still can't use! I went from, I'm pretty confident I can beat this, to a combination of a few little factors that knock off the schooling, the being outsped by Pokemon I didn't expect to be outsped by, to now going to, I wonder if we could win this playthrough. I was deathless up to this point, and I didn't get to use Bonkers that much in Kabuki form. I need to check something. Cloudy, just making sure it was correct. Cloudy was level 58. Up one more. Bonkers was 59. Got outsped by Hala's a cross chop crit was a one-shot. Cotton guard, it didn't matter. Oh no. Now I'll be happy enough if I just make it to the end of the playthrough. I'm trying to think, okay, what was my plan for the other fights? Well, we still have Olivia and Kukui after this. But I feel like first I need to just survive this one. Now I'm afraid I won't be making it. So we get to catch another Furfrou. Furfrou's been a nice, useful, neutral Pokemon. Where's Furfrou in the decks? There's Furfrou. Take Furfrou out of this. That's 4 Pokemon left. Take Furfrou out of this. Rip Furfrou. Before I decide what to do here, I'm gonna think about my strategies for the other fights. Because let's say I need to sacrifice another Pokemon. I need to make sure I don't sacrifice a Pokemon that is actually planned to be really good against the other fights. We still have Olivia to go. Wishy-Washy would be optimal there. It's a bit scary for Golem. Wishy-Washy is one of the ones that got some of the rare candies right before the league, specifically to survive Golem's Thunder Punch. I don't have another great way of dealing with Golem. Like, Furfrou would have been okay to take the hits, but can't deal much back. That could have been a safe way to do it. And let's see. Kukui. Lycanroc, Wishy-Washy. Ninetales, Torracat. Magnezone, hopefully still Torracat. Braviary. That was gonna be Furfrou. Snorlax, that was gonna be Furfrou. And then Primarina. That might have been Cottony. So I need to readjust for that. Do some fancy stuff with Nasty Plot with Vic. But Magnezone still has Sturdy. Magnezone is scary enough just with Torracat. Okay, so Wishy-Washy and Lasagna. So Wishy-Washy and Torracat were planned to be used anyway. Wishy-Washy super needed for Primarina. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Moonblast could still hit pretty hard, but for the resistances, probably. I need Wishy-Washy alive. Any others that are preferable? Actually, I need to check something. I didn't consider this earlier. What's the speed on a prime? Oh, actually, no. I could have used Lillipup to take out Crabominable. Because they weren't low enough to heal. I would have survived it with a Focus Sash and then return take him out. Lillipup might have been either the sacrifice of the hit to let Cottony survive and everyone survive. I would have used Lillipup for the first time of the playthrough almost. Didn't think of that. Does anyone remember how much HP that Primate was at? Pretty sure it was like just under a quarter because they hit it with the return after they healed. The Primate beat Furfrou in speed. Furfrou is the base 102. Persian is base 115. So Persian should be able to take it out, right? I think I can survive a hit with Lillipup. Maybe I just send in Lillipup here just to take it out with return. I have the Focus Sash. I could also use Lillipup's turn where it survives to heal Wishy-Washy and make sure that it's in school form the moment it's sent out in battle. I think with the amount of HP they have remaining, Persian can do it. But the only thing I can hit it with is Thunderbolt. And remember, Persian's not that strong. And I'll just hope it outspeeds. Persian having Fur Coat would have been great here, but I have one with Technician. It was useful earlier on in the playthrough. Let's say Persian just outspeeds and beats him. There's still Beware, there's still Poliwrath. I need Wishy-Washy. But the thing is, if I use Lillipup's Focus Sash out to heal Wishy-Washy, I'll still need to switch into Wishy-Washy, which will then just undo the schooling again. Actually, they outsped and hit me to low but not a KO after Cross Chop. Lasagna survives it. Assuming they don't crit, of course, Lasagna should survive the Cross Chop based on how much damage was dealt to Furfrou. So we can take him out with Lasagna. I really want to see the exact HP it has, though. I am actually going to go to my own Twitch page, go into the VOD, the live VOD, and scroll and go back and see how much HP it's at. It is well into the red. So they're going to heal. It's like as much into the... It's like to the just to the left side of the M in Primate. In terms of health bar. That is red. So that's a... 10, 15%. That's a KO from Persian, but they're gonna heal, and I don't think Persian can do a 2-shot. So I expect they're gonna heal. Torracat has good speed, almost as much as Primate, but Primate already outsped Furfrou. And Torracat's slower than Furfrou. I could Sword Stance into Flare Blitz, or try for 2 Flamethrowers. Sword Stance into Flare Blitz is gonna be scary if they even hit me. What's the HP we have left on Wishy? They would heal 5th. No. They would heal 9 to 44 off of leftovers. Actually, yeah, leftovers heals 1/16th. I have just under 160 max HP, so that heals not 10, it heals 9. I go to 44. 44 HP times 4 is well over 160. One use of Protect activates Schooling. It should reactivate Schooling, right? 25% when it's sent out or at the end of the turn. Yeah. Here's the thing. I think I'm gonna go Torracat, expecting them to heal. Although they've already used one... They've already used the full restore. If they don't heal and I Sword Stance, I ruin my chances. I don't think it will do... On a random Trainer's Garbodor, Janita, I needed 3 hits of Thunderbolts to KO it, being a few levels higher with Persian. How many full restores does he have? He's gonna have at least 2. Pretty sure only the champion has 4. Maybe E4 members have 4. I think maybe just gym leaders have 2. But they've already used one on Primate. Do they use more? Flare Blitz, because it will deal more damage, just in case they heal. They hit with the cross jumps, don't crit! Good. That takes out Primate. Okay. We're around. 2 more. This is gonna send in Poliwrath, I would assume. Because Poliwrath's good against Torracat. Here's what I was thinking about earlier. If I heal Grandma now, assume like, let's say I send out Grandma, I heal up Grandma, I'm still in solo form, and they beat me up with submission. We just have to assume they hit. Here's the thing though. If I protect for 1 turn, leftovers will take me to just over the threshold of Schooling, will reactivate Schooling, which means much more defense. Then I heal. And then hopefully I just survive enough. And then hopefully we can get past Hala with Wishy-Washy. We still have 2 more fights. Alright, little fishy. Something else I forgot to do was just check the EVs before the E4. Pretty sure everyone except for Lillipup has been on max for a long time. Alright, reactivate schooling. Good, good, good. And now... Max Potion. And we see how much damage Submission deals. That's also 80% on 80 on accuracy. Less power than Primeape, lower chance to crit, but can still do it. 55 damage. That on a crit will not even KO. That is massive. Because that on a crit, let's say it was 60 damage, with crit would do 90. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Because we have to play it safe at this point. Actually, I was gonna wait for Submission to miss and then just attack. But knowing this is now a safe fight, as long as I heal every second turn, or heal every turn that they crit me, I will survive. Most of the time, they'll take 2 hits before I'm in danger zone. So I should use this to heal everyone who is damaged. Which right now is just Torracat, but just in case I want to use Torracat again. Everyone else is still at max HP because I haven't used the other 2 this fight. If I had the option, I would have healed Cottony here. The entire Cottony strategy went down the drain. Just because I didn't think about the fact that they could actually use Crabominal as not their final Pokemon. I was thinking, oh, I'll just set it up against Hariyama, beat Primeape, beat Beware, beat Poliwrath, then Crabominal comes in. But I also have to say, from game design perspective, I love that in this game, they still use their ace Pokemon before the last one, if it just happens to be the good Pokemon for that point in the battle. Gen 8, Gen 9, their ace always comes last, which makes it more predictable, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. They save the Dynamax, the G-Max, the Terra for the end. I don't like it. Okay, now just for safety going into the next fight of Beware, I'm gonna wait until they miss. Wait, did I use regular potion? I wanted to use super potion. I don't really care about the recoil, although I guess that can help. Help me some. Yeah, I did use regular potion. Better not do that when it really matters. I haven't attacked yet, so I can't use Protect yet. I can, but it still has that chance to fail. That recoil might add up to when I start using Earthquake. It matters. 80% to hit. 20 to miss. Cross Chop already missed once. But then they got us back with the crit. They should still outspeed me. Because Wishy-Washy is not a fast Pokemon. But I prefer to be at full health when I go in for the KO. And then still be at as much HP as possible when we go into Beware. I didn't keep track of how many submissions they've used, but it's like 7, 8, I would guess at this point. 20 power points. I don't need to wait to PP stall it. I just want it to miss. This is one of the few cases where being able to use healing items, you can stall with it a bunch. That doesn't feel quite right in like a challenge mode. Any kind of challenge run. Just continuously healing, just to stall out power points or wait for the miss. Doesn't quite feel right, but it doesn't feel that bad for me. This feels a lot more okay than using X items. Especially Gen 7 Plus, where they're better. Okay, let's see. If they hit me with submission, that's okay. At least, I think it's okay. Don't crit me now, that would have been really bad. There's a slightly stronger submission than they've used the last few times. They've got a high roll, which is not good for me. One more Pokemon. Hammer Arm is going to deal more damage than Poliwrath Submission. So if I heal here, they're going to just hit me to below what I was at before. So healing here, I feel like is useless unless they miss. I think I'll protect just to get the leftovers. And then we attack. We'll see what it does. And we'll also figure out after a turn or two if I'm faster. After how many speed drops from Hammer Arm. They're definitely faster. What does Hammer Arm do? From 119 to 32. That's 87 damage. Come on. Not a KO. What's the base speed of a Beware? 60. The Wishy-Washy is 30. So at least one more time they'll be faster. So they did 87 damage. Which means I'm safe from a crit, I think. So I just let them hit me with Hammer Arm a few times. To make them slower than I am. And then I finish them off with Surf. That's 84 damage. They did 87. Yeah. I just heal multiple times and make them slower with Hammer Arm. Or until they miss. And then we're through Hala. Wishy-Washy's base stat total that is higher than most legendary Pokemon is really coming through here. It has low HP because you can't change the HP stat if anything, it changes forms mid-battle. It has slower speed than solo form, but everything else is at least 130. Which more than makes up for it. See, we survived the crit. Okay, if they don't crit me next hit, I will actually, can I protect? I don't think I've used protect, but I just use Surf against them. I use protect, then Surf. Because at this point, I can survive another Hammer Arm if they don't crit me. Okay, it's Surf time. I go faster. Now I go first because they slowed themselves down. And somehow we made it through this fight. Okay. We're not done. 2 more fights, but at least we got through this one. No, I hear evolution sound. No, lasagna. No. You have to say lasagna. Hala became such a challenge, but we still have 4 survivors. 2 battles to go. All right. Let's heal up. Let's save. That was, not the plan. We have focus ashes. I think 3 or 4 total. Olivia's next. Most of the fight is pretty safe. Lycanroc can hit hard with Continental Crush, but we have Protector Wishy-Washy. Probopass could be annoying with Thunder Wave and Sturdy, so I need to make sure that's healed before I get out of it. Scary Pokemon on that fight is Golem. Stab Thunder Punch. And I don't have a great way of dealing with it. Also, Golem has Sturdy. So yeah, actually, Golem gets 2 hits on Wishy-Washy. That is not good. Golem's base speed is only 45. At least, yeah, Alolan as well. He has Rock Blast as his rock move. How does Rock Blast interact with Focus Sash? I know in Gen 4, Focus Sash survives. Focus Sash. If Focus activates before the last strike is dealt, the following strike will cause the Pokemon to faint. That's Gen 5+. So Focus Sash will not help Torracat. I'm just trying to figure out a plan for Golem. I feel pretty confident in the rest. I just need to be at high HP as possible to make it with Grandma. Although, what is their defenses? Alolan Golem's HP 80, special defense 65. Focus Sash Vic? Maybe? They have Steamroller to be super effective. Flinch jumps, but I go first. Maybe use Vic against Golem? If they're Rock Blast, I'm still in trouble. But at least I go first. And the question is, will I hit enough with 2 Dark Pulses? I'm gonna actually compare Alolan Golem stats to Garbodor, because I remember that random trainers fight. So Golem was 80, 65. Garbodor's 80, 82. But this one probably has some more EVs and whatever. Is there any other thing I can put on Vic? Choice specs? So that I don't have to spend a turn on Nasty Plot? And to make sure that I can 2-shot it with Dark Pulse? That might be the play. This Focus Sash probably... I wonder if Steamroller is super effective enough, because it's just Steamroller. Not a strong move. Yeah. I'm going with choice specs for this fight specifically. Because the thing with Wishy-Washy is they're going to go first, hit me with Thunder Punch. If assuming they don't crit, I survive just a little bit. But then not only may I go out of schooling form, which is a problem, they still go before me for the second hit because they're going to survive 1 with Sturdy. I was going to use Cloudy maybe for some of these fights because Energy Ball, but I don't need to worry about that now. Anything about this fight in the notes? Watch for counter and mirror code. Yeah, there's a counter on this fight that's killed one of my Pokemon before. Alright, let's do this. Go with an Ether, actually. What I'll do, if I end up going with Wishy-Washy against Golem, use Ice Beam first. Because they're going to survive the move anyway with Sturdy, that might freeze them. Let's do this thing. We have a new record of runs in succession that have at least 1 death in it. I'm not happy about that. I'm definitely not anymore at the 40% deathless that I was after the last time in Gen 9 and even after the last Gen 1 run. But right now, I just want to make it. I want to have another deathless run. It's been so long. But before we worry about that, let's just make sure we even get into the Hall of Fame here. Because I want to just lose even less. I've only ever lost one run. The very first one. When I was on stricter rules. A few close ones. Platinum 25. White 2. Playthrough 14. A few others that were pretty close and scary. But playthrough 14 and 25 can only stand out. It's her golem that worries me. I don't think without a crit, Steamroller or Thunder Punch can take out Persian. Rock Blast, if it hits many times, can. I do have the flinch chance off a Dark Pulse. Then Rock Blast can miss 20%. Persian can be useful against Kukui, but not as much. I think I am going with Persian against Golem. First, let's deal with the rest, though, before we get to Golem. Grandma, let's go. Actually, Golem might be the second Pokemon out. Just due to type advantage against Wishy-Washy. Yawn. Oh, that's going to be really bad against Golem. If I either am asleep or fall asleep once we go into Golem. Don't kill it. Don't kill the Relicanth. Okay, intentionally activate the sleep here. Okay, could have surfed, then it's a risk. I'm using Persian against Golem, but I don't want to be asleep. One entire awakening. Let's go. Just don't boost. You're a very safe Pokemon to fight against. Just don't boost. Don't Omni boost. No, I wanted to surf. I thought it was on Earthquake for some reason. Okay, fine. Ice Beam. Let's do a little bit of damage so I can finish off with Surf next turn. Yeah, that should be enough. That might be okay. So I just protect here. They're not going to heal this time. Just have a little bit more HP. I could have Ice Beamed again to maybe freeze them. But then they would have another chance to maybe get an Omni boost. Heal him up. No Omni boost, yes. Last move I use to still protect, so I can't protect here. Okay, they use Yawn, but now I KO. So actually it's not that bad. Because I'm not fighting Golem with Wishy-Washy. If that was the plan, this would have still been bad. But I'm using Persian. Thing is, if they don't send out Golem, I still want to switch. Probably. But I expect Golem. Because it's the only super effective move they have. Yeah. Alright, here's the scariest Pokemon in this team. Vic. Choice specs, flinch him. Come on. And even if I don't flinch them or they don't miss, Persian needs to deal at least half of Golem's HP and damage. If not, I am really in trouble. Flinch chance on Dark Pulse, I want to say it's 20%? Maybe 30? Just over half. I needed that choice specs. Steamroller is a consistent super effective move. I don't think it'll be enough. Not even close. I definitely needed a high roll Rock Blast. See, I needed the choice specs. Otherwise, that would have been at least 3 Dark Pulses. Or I needed Nasty Plot. If they would have just kept going with Steamroller, we would have been fine even from a crate. But that's a scary Pokemon dealt with. Back to Wishy-Washy. Yawn is gone because I switched. Reflect's not really gonna matter because I want to use Surf against everyone. Maybe I would have used Earthquake against Probopass. But I'm not worried about Reflect. Also, it's a 5-turn Reflect because they don't have Light Clay on Carbink. And they just waste a turn of Reflect. I'm completely fine with that. Here goes the big one, Lycanroc. Almost certainly will go first. They have Stone Edge, which by itself is scary, but they have Continental Crush. So just like against Hala, we protect here, predicting the Z move. If they don't Z move, we're in trouble. Because now they can use Z move next turn, because they didn't try it for some reason. Now I'm not certain that we can make it. And now they Z move. Oh, please, defense stats off of Wishy-Washy be enough. Because if you use Protect against a Z move, it's 25% damage. Now it's 100. They saw the Protect coming. They watched the match with Hala. Please survive, Wishy-Washy! That went slow enough to make me pretty confident. Okay, that's just over 100 damage. That's good. Just out of interest, how much power did Continental Crush have? Stone Edge is 100. Continental Crush coming off of Stone Edge is 180. So that was stronger than what a Stone Edge crit would have been. Ah, those defense stats on Grandma are really useful here. Got another level. And now we just deal with Probopass. We heal, then we go for it. Sandstorm gives him a special defense boost. Reflect is gone by this point. Should be. I didn't keep track. Actually, it's Gen 7. I can check. Yeah, it's gone. So, Earthquake time. Use the 4x super effective. Earthquake, a move that it's known since it was below level 20. And just imagine solo from Wishy-Washy using Earthquake. I'm pretty sure I put a screenshot of that in the Foreverlocke Discord at some point. Local Fishy destroys 10 Carat Hill or something like that. Surf. That's Olivia gone. 1 fight left. Hoppers, I know you're excited, but you're just a baby. I think I want leftovers again. For Persian. Let's see what items are we at. Going to Kukui. Let's start with Lycanroc. I'm pretty sure they always go Stealth Rock turn 1. So that's just go with Grandma. Actually, if they Stealth Rock turn 1, Focus Sash becomes useless. And I was gonna put Focus Sash on Lasagna for its fight against Magnezone. But if they're gonna Stealth Rock, I don't have a way around it. Dang. Didn't think about Stealth Rock damage. Good thing I think about it now. We'll just have to go with Eviolite. Pretty sure he always Stealth Rocks. Under that assumption, I'm gonna give Pupper something like Bright Powder if I can find it. Just in case I use it, it might survive an extra move. Because I don't expect any move against Lillipup to survive. Just to make Eviolite worth it. Do I have Bright Powder in this gen? I might not. I guess just Quick Claw to go faster than something? Or Eviolite? What are the stats on the Lillipup? I hope to never need Lillipup, but just in case. 45 HP, 45 defense, 45 special defense. It would need to face something that isn't very strong. And it's the champion fight. Speed 55. Quick Claw maybe. What are Pupper's moves again? Protect, Return, Baby Doll Eyes, and Toxic. Baby Doll Eyes always goes first anyway. I expect every move to just KO it, unless it's maybe something like Aqua Jet from Primarina. So throw in a Quick Claw. Fully predicting that Stealth Rock. I still don't want to see Stealth Rock. But at the same time, I will be very upset if they don't use it, because then I've wasted a certain kind of safety with the Focus Sash. Magnezone, the other scary thing is it has Mirror Coats and Sturdy. Actually, what am I going to use Vic against? Lycanroc's going to be wishy-washy. Assuming everything goes optimally, at least. Ninetales is Torracat. Primarina's wishy-washy. Braviary and Snorlax were going to be Furfrou. What's the speed on a Braviary? $80. I probably outspeed. So do I choice specs or do I nasty plot? Because I need to survive a hit. But they do a tailwind. If I choice specs, I'm stuck and then I have to switch. Might work against Snorlax. Let's predict the order in which they use their Pokemon. Lycanroc lead, Stealth Rock, I go Grandma. Second is gonna be Magnezone. So that's either use Lasagna with Eviolite, hope I survive. Make it. Vic would be an option. If Lasagna is second, he goes Primarina third. If for me Vic is second, Ninetales is third, which means I need Lasagna. But no matter what, they're not gonna put Braviary or Snorlax out, so then Vic can... I think I want to choice specs again, actually. Just to get that extra power in case I need Vic for something like Magnezone. Higher chance at 2-shot Braviary. And actually, I'm gonna put Hidden Power back on Vic if I'm committing to the choice specs. Because if I'm doing choice specs, I won't have Nasty Plot. And Hidden Power Poison with the Technician boost is stronger than Power Gem, therefore does more damage against the Ninetales. In case I do use Persian against them. Just to make sure it was poison. I'm gonna check back in the Foreverlocke Discord. My posts about Persian specifically. It was HP poison, yeah. And in this gen, Hidden Power is always 60 power. I'll just confirm that as well for safety. Yeah, it's taking a bit longer to get to the final fight because with more Pokemon dead, I need more planning. It's Gen 6 onwards that it was changed to 6 power. 6 power always. Could a Z move be good? Popper's kind of useless. Grandma, I probably want the heal. Probably. Lasagna has Eviolite, probably optimal, yeah, for survivability against Magnezone. It does a really strong Thunderbolt. 130 base special attack. Only base 60 speed though, so Torque gets to, probably gets to move first, yeah. Would Wishy-Washy be able to use the Z move well? Lycanroc just dies. Ninetales one of the others. Braviary, I have Ice Beam. Magnezone, I'm not going to use it against it. Primarina's going to be pretty fine. Snorlax? I can probably survive Snorlax with my stats. I'll keep lefties. Okay, because this has taken longer than expected, I'm gonna take a quick toilet break. I normally don't do this in finales. I'm sorry if I've been coughing a lot into the microphone and it sounds gross. I really don't want to. But because of how scary it's been, I wanted to talk more, which means my microphone was on more. And I'm gonna take a quick break, refill the water bottle, use the toilet. And then we're taking a quick wee. One fight left. There are plans and ideas, but I feel a lot less confident than I felt at the start of today. And I'm mostly afraid of Magnezone. And Stealth Rock exists. Without Stealth Rock, I would have felt a lot more confident. I've always been a champion of Alola, and I intend to become the first one once again. I'm not gonna get 6 Hall of Famers, we're not gonna get 5. Can we at least get 4? Let's play hide and seek. Where am I? Whee! Alright, let's have the big music begin. One final fight to get us into the league. Let's go. I didn't put the right moves on Persian, did I? Hope so. I expect Stealth Rock, if not, I'll be angry. In some way, I also won't be, but I changed some safety strats because I fully expect Stealth Rock always turn 1. Okay, Vic does the right moves. Forgot to use elixirs. That you do use Stealth Rock. Okay, I don't have Rapid Spin. That would actually be the only place, potentially, in the entire Pokemon series where they consistently use Stealth Rock. There's other Pokemon that maybe use Spikes or Stealth Rock, but it's not as bad. Like, I guess Skarmory on Kahili did use it. So in Gen 7, maybe you want to have a Rapid Spinner or a Defogger. Alright, Magnezone second. Actually, I said I was going to maybe use Vic, but Mirror Coat. No. Lasagna. Can you become the second Pokemon of your Evo line to get into the Hall of Fame? That hurts. But if I heal now, they're just gonna hit me harder with Thunderbolt. So I need to hit now. Actually, they might Mirror Coat. Mirror Coat will be... If they don't Mirror Coat, they go for Thunderbolts. I want to use Flamethrower, because that's super effective, will definitely deal well over half their HP and damage. I also have Flare Blitz, but that's recoil, and they're already gonna hit me to really low health. And I kinda wanna take them out in one hit, which I can't do. Optimally speaking, they go for Mirror Coat. But if they can KO with Thunderbolt, if the AI believes that, and I don't have that much defense, I think I just want to survive it. If I can survive enough Thunderbolts so they don't crit me, I can maybe PP stall out of Thunderbolt and then get them later. But if they Mirror Coat, no. If they Thunderbolt and they hit me to really low health, the recoil from Flare Blitz might take me out. That's why I don't want to use Flare Blitz. I have Eviolite, but my defenses aren't that great on Torracat. And I take massive recoil on Flare Blitz. If they Mirror Coat, I go down by using Flamethrower, but at least Persian then has a chance to take it out. I think I need to go Flamethrower. Okay. Thunder Wave, that's actually better. I think. But now they're gonna go first. So that puts me in a similar situation. But I can safely use Flamethrower now. If they KO me, they KO me. That would have happened if they used Thunderbolt last time too. So they might not think they can KO in a normal hit. I'm gonna attack here, because healing, I don't think matters, because then they're gonna hit me to lower with Thunderbolt. I'm gonna go for the attack, hopefully survive, take them out. And if not, we go into healing until they PV stall out of Thunderbolt. Come on, Eviolite! Oh yes, and we hit through the paralysis. Oh, we're still in this. We're still in this, we have a chance. We have a chance. Lasagna, let's go. Here comes Snorlax. So not Primarina, which is surprising. Like, sure, Snorlax is a super effective move. But Primarina has Stab super effective. I would have expected that to happen. Grandma, your turn. The worst they can probably do for me is Crunch, and then lower my defense with Crunch. So I want to deal big damage early, but I also want to heal Torracat. Because I know I'm going to use it against Ninetales, I might use it against others. Body Slam's fine. I don't expect that to deal that much. From 140, 89. 51 damage. Easy, safe on crits. I'm gonna take a couple of hits, but we're safe. That's fine. I was gonna heal this turn anyway. Heal, take a hit, protect to get a bit more. Or we full restore again, because we don't want to be paralyzed. With Magnezone out of the way, I feel a lot more confident, but things can still go wrong. 4 Pokemon left. Snorlax is that safe fight that I was referring to earlier when fighting Olivia, I think. You can use it to heal. I could PP stall this guy, but I'm not going to. So make sure everyone healed. Is everyone good on power points? Probably. You know what? Let's throw an elixir on Vic for Thunderbolt. Should have done this before the finale. I normally always do, but maybe just because me coughing, needing to use the toilet again, stuff like that. Oops, forgot. Probably prioritizing Team Order over Stab, potentially. That's gonna be referring to Snorlax being sent up before Primarina. And they have thick fat, so they do resist. You could make the argument they resist fire. So that might be part of why. This does PP stall Body Slam to an extent, but actually I want to KO him the next few turns because Crunch is the most dangerous move they have. It deals less damage than Body Slam at base, and then Body Slam is Stab. But Crunch can lower defense, and if that happens to happen multiple times and it adds up, it deals more damage than Body Slam. That's the only thing I'm scared of. But they're gonna just do Body Slam because the calculation makes more sense there. Don't crit on this one, because it doesn't KO and it will just put them in heal range. I think that's just out of heal range, but just within the range if I can KO on the next hit. And I'm pretty sure it only becomes red at 20% or below, not 25. Purely a theory, though. We'll heal again. It don't heal. It don't heal. They don't paralyze. So I'm gonna protect this turn because I used Surf last time. This gives me an extra turn of heal with leftovers that prepares me for the next Pokemon, which is gonna be for Wishy-Washy either Braviary or Primarina. This is perfect damage output. He's not in heal range, but based on what Surf's done so far, this should just take him out. And I'm at near max health. Okay. Braviary. Probably just gonna use the stats of Wishy-Washy. Stay in. I took him out with Surf, so Protect I could do now, but I don't want them to Tailwind. So I just Ice Beam. Actually, they might still Tailwind, yeah. So if I'm not protecting now, Wishy-Washy takes less damage, but there's another turn of Tailwind left. Doesn't KO, I can still protect the turn Tailwind away. How many turn Tailwind are there in Gen 5? It says doubles the speed for 3 turns. It's like, but now it lasts for 4. Is that including the turn where you use it, where it might affect other members of your team in like a double battle? There should be 3 left. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna stall out one of them with Protect. This should Protect also protects me from Whirlwind, which it does have. No, it does not! Interesting. Guess I'm using Puppy. But, no. Grandma. Go. Puppy. No, not Puppy. Fishy. Also, Fishy's regather. Okay, so if I would have used Icy Wind, it would have... Ice Beam would have been fun. Oh, now they're gonna recoil themselves into heal range. I'm gonna heal as well. Because they can KO me from here. If they don't heal, which they should, based on the fact that they still have full souls left. No! They didn't. Torracat. Tailwind's out, so they might Tailwind again. Stealth Rock with Whirlwind is some strategy, okay. Okay, so if I'm at any kind of decent health, I'm gonna go for the KO. Because they're not using damage and moves on Wishy-Washy. They're doing it on the others. Good looking health. Whirlwind goes around Protect. They went for Whirlwind again. We KO him. It's still 2 turns left of Tailwind. 2 Pokemon to go. The 2 girls of the team are at the end. Primarina. We're going to stick with Wishy-Washy because it resists the moves best. That's the strongest move they have against Wishy. That's 75 damage. I get a 2-shot. They don't, as long as they don't crit. If they do crit, they do get it. 75 up to 80, just in case with high roll. 120 on a crit, yeah. What's the PP on Moonblast? 50. For safety, optimally I just heal 15 times to stall out Moonblast, because they're going to keep hitting every turn. If we take the risk and they don't crit us, we can take them out here and then go for Ninetales. Ninetales is last. I'm gonna go over healing. Because it's safer. It's really annoying to do the PP stall thing for the safety. But it is the optimal strategy here. I'm using a special attack. Ooh, that's less damage. That was only 66 damage. Well, they did 75 before. Let's do 75 as a high roll. Let's say 76 for easy calculation. 35, 30, 38 added on to 75. 105, 113. If 76 is the maximum damage they can do with regular Moonblast, then a crit here with that 76 roll would leave me at 1 HP. I kind of want to, but also no. I think I just wasted a Protect. I wasted a Protect. I'm not gonna risk it. This is 4. That was 70 damage. Yeah, we would have been fine. So far, 75 is the highest. But we can't get to that anymore because we've already used Protect once. I knew that could happen, but I'm not bothered by it because I'm going to use the physical attack. I lost track of how many Moonblasts it's been. After Moonblast, Hyper Voice might be the best. Maybe 1 turn Hydro Vortexes. It's like around 7. Maybe 1 off. Could have kept track by the amount of full restores I've left, or healing items. I'll say this is 8, might be 1 off. Right, let's sit and breathe. Looks like if we used Protect after a low roll Moonblast, we could have been fine even on a crit high roll after. Like that really low roll we had earlier when I did use Protect. Over 75 damage, the first hit they did was still the best they could have done. Even if I'm just repeating the same thing for 15 turns. I need to stay focused so I don't miss something important. And I can tell I'm losing focus. Calming down is good, losing focus is not. There should not be anything that does more than a potential crit Moonblast, which you haven't even seen. Few more turns. How many special attack drops is that right now? Only 3. Huh. If this was a safer spot to be in, I might have actually healed Torracat. But the crit could still knock me out, so I'm not going to. I'm thinking for Ninetales being left. Ninetales should deal less damage to Torracat than to Wishy-Washy. Like, Blizzard is resisted by both, Dazzling Gleam only by Torracat. But I could just go with Wishy-Washy for Ninetales as well. Because I will take a second hit of Stealth Rock on Torracat. Imagine if I didn't use the full restore on Torracat when I was fighting Snorlax. That whirlwind that went from Braviary that went into Torracat would have just killed it. I just realized that. Is this the last one? I'm dealing a lot of damage on this one. That was a low one. Z move now. Okay. What's the power behind the Z move? I guess we get to see Hydro Vortex. It's gonna be a big one, but it's gonna be resisted to maybe just below the power of Moonblast. It's about the same. That's a Z move out of the way. That's almost nothing. Why didn't I use a Hyper Voice? I don't know. This is where I heal Torracat. Why are they not using Hyper Voice? Unless they're in Torrent. Like, just into Torrent. It might just be, I don't know. Torrent plus Stab would deal more with Sparkling Aria than with Hyper Voice. That one open. Alright, final Pokemon. Puppy has officially participated in the champion fight, yes. Puppy has. I'm gonna run a check. Torracat, 65 HP, 50 special defense. Wishy-Washy, 45 HP, 135 special defense. Well, Torracat does have Eviolite. But also, actually, I'm going to check Ninetales versus Primarina. Alolan Ninetales, special attack of 81. Primarini, special attack 126. I'm going to stay with Wishy. With Wishy-Washy, knowing how much damage they dealt with Moonblast, the best they can do is Dazzling Gleam and deal less damage. So I heal, and then I should just be able to take it out with a couple more Earthquakes. Should. That's the best I have. This is 45 damage. That's just 45 damage. We protect for another turn of lefty's heal. We are still really low on special attack due to the many Moonblasts. Still -3, but we have Earthquake. Safeguard works for me. I'm not gonna work with that. I feel very safe, but it's not over until it's over. One more Earthquake. And we're through. Ah! That was so much scarier than it needed to be. Not a deathless run, which it was maybe going to become new record of 7 runs with a death in it in a row. But at the very least, we don't have a second loss. I'll have to recatch a Furfrou and a Cottony. But at least we made it. 4 Hall of Famers. Now, no Lasagna. You're gonna stay a Torracat. Lasagna's getting to the Hall of Fame. Thank you, Janita. And we used old Pokemon, technically. Technically. We used Lillipup. We were forced to, but it was sent out. It counts. Oh, yeah, we get this really long credit sequence now, don't we? Because it's the original Sun and Moon. But first, let's celebrate our 4 new Hall of Famers, getting us to 305. In the Hall of Fame this time, Grandma the Wishy-Washy. Vic the Persian, who took care of 2 fights on its own. Lasagna the Torracat starter made it in. And the little puppy that just sat in the team for the entire playthrough was technically was there. Rip Cloudy, rip Bonkers. We'll get to use you again. I don't know what generation Cottony is going to be in. Maybe 5, but we do have Gen 5 Plus. We have so many Pokemon. Furfrou might catch it in Gen 6. See if the model looks there a bit better with the colors. I'm gonna wait for one more turn to get a screenshot with Pokemon that are actually in the Hall of Fame. Because I just could have taken a really good screenshot with Bonkers and Cloudy, but they're dead. There. That was a scary one. 4 new Hall of Famers. Hey! Got the stamp of approval. Yeah, we get to see these people. We get to have the entire party. We get Lily leaving. Everyone doing their Z move. The credits, and then the credits again differently. I'll let it play out. To save my throat from even more coughing, I'll just say thank you now. For watching, for being there during this very scary finale. Let's hope in the next playthrough, we're not going to make it 8 in a row with a death. Last time we were in Gen 8, we had 1 entire death with the famous I called Frostmoth's death clip with the metronome and the blast burn. If you haven't seen that, it's YouTube short, it's on my TikTok, it's on Twitch clips. Let's look for the clip with the Frostmoth in it. Next time we're going to do Pokemon Shield with DLC. A couple more Pokemon to catch, a cup food to obtain. I have no clue what my team will be like because my Pokemon Home subscription ran out, and that's where I keep my Gen A Plus storage. So that's something I'm going to look into in the next few days to restart that subscription. I decided to just wait another month to 1.5 with restarting it, because why pay money if I'm not going to use it yet? Next time we're going to stream Gen 8. It's probably going to be next week, Wednesday. Do something else on the Monday. I'm going to go to some movies and have some fun by myself here as well. I'll keep you updated in the Foreverlocke Discord once I've started the playthrough. Just not the Foreverlocke Discord, my own Discord as well. But I'll show you the starting team once I have it. I'm not going to do... Because the Switch setup with how to stream it is a lot more awkward than Gen 1 through 7, which is very easy to stream for me. I'm going to do something different than I've done the last few playthroughs, where I've streamed most of the entire playthrough. I'm going to do most of Gen 8, Gen 9 off stream, but still stream at least once before the finale. So current plan, play by myself a little bit in Shield, stream wherever I end up on Wednesday next week, and then use the week after that to hopefully get to the league and do the finale the week after. That might be an idea. But we'll see if that works with job search and other things that I want to do. It'll be Shield next, Scarlet after that, and then when we get back to Generation 1, which will be in over a month, just over a month probably, that Generation 1 one will be all in one day in a super long stream. So hopefully my throat will have recovered by that point, because that's not going to be okay otherwise. But for now, let's do our favorite Z move. Hi-ya! Could you tell which one I was doing? So we're gonna go to Pokemon Shield. I'll update the Foreverlocke Discord and my Discord with the team that I'm using once I've started it. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you always remember that you are worth it. Goodbye. Thunder Wave. I forgot there's still one more thing. It's not just credits.